Okay, folks, back here on the Tommy channel. I thought I'd redo this episode. This is The Way the World Really Works. Episode 1, Andrew Forrest. This man here is Australia's richest man. He has $27 billion. He has family, but he doesn't want to give any of his money to family when he dies. He says he's going to donate the full $27 billion into charity. Now, while that might seem like a very generous thing to do for charity, the fact is that charity doesn't need the money. They really don't. In 1 year alone, Americans gave $471 billion to charity in 1 year. That's $500 billion in 1 year alone. Right now, charities have accrued trillions of dollars sitting in bank accounts, doing nothing except accruing interest. Okay, that's all it's doing. You give to charity, and all you're doing is helping them make more money out of that money. They don't spend the money you give them. They put it into term deposit accounts, interest deposit accounts, and let the money you give them make more money in the bank, and they use that profit, that interest money, to pay for charity, not the money you directly give them. It's a rort. It really is a rort. And as we saw with the bushfire fiasco a few years ago in Australia, with hundreds of millions being donated to charity, and we found out that literally tens of millions of it was squandered instantly by administration fees and all sorts of other stuff, and they still hadn't gave out any of that money to help people from those bushfires. It was a ridiculous joke. It really was. They don't need any more money from men like this. Okay? They don't need any money from extremely rich billionaires giving them more billions that they've already got. They've got enough money to help out the entire world for all the problems that charity is supposed to address, like poverty and starvation and even homelessness. They've got enough money combined right now to sort out all the problems they need to. But they don't, because charity doesn't like that. They want people to keep donating because it's babying the problem. If they wanted to, they could seriously solve all of this right now. But they don't want to solve this because this is what gives them their money. This is what gets them this. You know, this is what makes people donate to charity in the first place. Is the fact that there's this. They could solve this right now, but they don't want to. Okay, so for this man to want to give them another $27 billion is not philanthropy. It's a tax write-off again. He'd be dead, so he can't really use it. But you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous. I mean, if you really want to help people, give it directly to them. If you give it directly to them, simply through 6 degrees of separation, you will help out more people by helping one person directly than by giving it to charity and for them to bleed away the money in fees, charges, and administration fees and fattening their own pockets. The fact is that if you gave this money directly to people, you could help out far more in a charitable way than giving $27 billion to charity. Even if you spread that $27 billion out between many different charities, it wouldn't matter. The simplest and easiest way to help out the country he lives in, which is Australia, would be to give it directly to them. Now, if you gave $27 billion divided by 800,000 people, $33,000 each, okay, you're going to directly help out 800,000 people. They're going to pay off their loans, get themselves out of a little bit of debt. They will help their family. With 33 grand, if I was given that, I would give a few grand to people in my circle. I really would. I would give it to people that missed out on I don't know how it would be dished out in some sort of lottery or some sort of fair lottery where they work out how to divide the money between all the people in Australia, so that the people that are going to give it to, these 800,000 people, are going to help out the right people around them, and then through 6 degrees of separation, you will help out everybody in the community. Okay, so what we're talking about is there's roughly 27 million people in Australia, so 800,000 is nearly a million. You could probably shave that 33,000 down a bit to maybe 28 and get the figure to a million people. That million people would help out 10, maybe 20 people in their circle. Okay, I know they would. Australians are good people. We genuinely like to help others, especially when we've got a windfall like this come to us. So you could honestly imagine that if you gave that money directly to 1 million people, you would help out nearly every single person in Australia, rich or poor. And it doesn't matter if they're poor already and they're drug dealers or junkies or criminals. Even they deserve a chance to be lifted up, because lifting people up is the easiest way to solve a country's problems, and especially the people's problems that are being lifted. Okay, if they're a criminal, they may stop crime for a while. That's gonna help thousands or hundreds of people that are not being affected by the crime that person's no longer committing, because they have a slight windfall to keep them good. It could even go to some rich people. Okay, it doesn't just have to go to poor people. That the 1 million people would be I can't remember the word, that would be screened so that you would see that it would help out more people by giving it to that one person. Okay, they could be rich. They might invest it in their business, make their business more, and by doing all this and giving the people directly money, I'm guaranteeing you they would pump it into the economy of that country. Okay, it would boost the entire economy overnight, and it would solve tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people's debt problems. The debt we're talking about is debt to banks and stuff. So those people were going to give $5,000 to the bank for their car loan. Okay, now they can give $5,000 of that 33 grand to the bank. The bank gets their money, and now that person can spend the money they would have spent on their car loan on other things, on the economy. I mean, it's definitely going to work like that. It's the best way. Giving it to charity is ridiculous. I mean, look at this. 471 billion in 1 year, and that's just one country. You can almost guarantee that over the entire world in that year, it was trillions. Maybe a trillion and a half, 2 trillion. Easily. At last count, a few years ago when I did research on this topic, I found that regardless of them being donated to every year, they already had in their accounts combined roughly $1 trillion sitting in term interest accounts, doing nothing but making more money that they were spending on either themselves or charity. Now, if they're spending it on charity, they're not doing a very good job, are they? I mean, look at this. This is disgusting. They could solve this overnight if they really wanted to, but they don't, because keeping this going, like pharmaceutical companies don't want to cure problems, they want to treat problems. They want the problem to persist, but they want to baby it so they can make money from it. And that's all they're doing. All you're doing is giving them money, okay? It's not good. So this man wants to give them more. I mean, what the hell for? If he gave it directly to them, you would help out so many people so much more simply through the 6 degrees of separation principle. That one person would help out many, many people in their circle, which help out many people in their circle. It exponentially goes on. And this is what we're talking about with the economy as well. It would bolster the economy for several years to come, putting it into an extraordinary position of wealth and prosperity, simply by donating that money directly to people, okay? Directly to them. You know, I mean, seriously, they don't need any more money. It's a ridiculous joke. So, you know, I don't know what to say about this, really. He wants to give it all to them. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. They don't need any more money. They're not solving this problem, so why give them more? That's seriously the way the world works, folks. Okay? And these rich, super rich people just want to give them more and more money for no goddamn reason. Okay? It's ridiculous. Well, I hope you found that informative. There'll be more on this topic in a later date. Next video coming up is going to be about Elon Musk and the way half the population seems to hate him because he's rich and basically an oligarch, and half the population seems to think he's the new messiah, bringing about the space age and renewable technology sector. I'll talk about Elon and discuss the pros and cons of Elon Musk. Okay, so yeah, that's the next video coming up soon, folks. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching the Tommy Tomic channel, and I'll see you again soon, folks. Please subscribe.